All right, guys, I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about the changes that I made to the in-ear system. So what I did was I added another DP48 in the booth that we can use to remotely mix any of the in-ear mixes on the stage. Okay, so what I had to do was insert another DP48 into the AES50 chain. So this changes the routing that goes to the other DP48s. So the sources that come back from the DP48s are now moved by one. So this is an easy fix on your side. It took me a minute to fix it on mine, but I saved it, and all you have to do is load it. So what I'm going to do is show you what those changes are. So now if I go into routing and I look at sources and I look at AES50C, you're going to see here that they're labeled 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so there's actually a 5th DP48 in there now, so that's going to have to change. And then also my output routing to AES50A for the in-ear mixes going out to the wireless transmitters also are labeled 2 through 4 there, and those are going to change. Okay, so this is a really easy change on your side. So all you have to do is go to Library, back up out of the folders, and go to R out. And I made a folder called Iem Setup for in-ear mixer setup. Click that folder and then click Iem Routing Setup, and you're going to load this. And all this is going to do is it's going to change the source routing from AES50C, the output routing for A and C. Okay, so I'm going to hit load, confirm. And now if I go back and look at my routing, we'll go to sources from C. And you can see now there's 5 here. So I've labeled 1 front of house, and then 2, 3, 4, and 5. I skipped 1 for a reason, and I'll show you here in a minute. But now if I also go look at my outputs to A, you can see they're labeled 3, 4, and 5 now. And I'm going to show you why that matters. So now if I go look at the DP48 up here in the booth, this is how it's going to power up. It's going to look just like they did before, but what I want to do is I want to put this in remote mode. So I'm going to hit setup. Now I'm going to scroll till I see remote. I'm going to turn remote mode on. Okay, and then right below it you're going to see a device ID. So this is the device ID that I want to connect to. So right now it's set to master. So if I exit out of the setup menu, it's going to look just like any other unit. It's going to show down here a little M saying it's basically the master unit, and an NC saying it's not connected. So now if I go back into the setup menu and then I change this ID to ID2, you can see it instantly changes to purple. My master is lit up purple, and it also shows a 02 there saying that I'm connected to unit 2. So now I'm actually connected and control any of the volume levels for ID unit 2. And ID unit 2 is going to be for mix 1 and the bass. So that's how, or I'm sorry, I said that wrong. ID2 is the drum mixer. So they go in order that they're connected. So this is the master unit. The drum will be 2. Stage right will be 3. Here, I'll just show you a diagram. So front of house is going to be ID master, drum is going to be ID 2, stage right is going to be ID 3, stage 4 is ID left is 4, and keys is going to be ID 5. And you can see in here where the mixers are connected to also. So the stage right, which is ID 3, the A side is going to be wireless mix 1. So if I want to adjust, and that's typically the guitar player, if I want to adjust his mix for him, I would connect to ID 3 and use the left side, which would be A, and that will adjust his mix. So then if I come back up here, let's go do that. Let's say I want to adjust wireless mix 1, which is going to be ID 3. I go to setup, ID 3. It's connected to ID 3. And now I mix on this A side. So if I wanted to adjust one of the vocals, let's say handheld 2, I'm going to use this side of the mixer, my A level. This B level over here would be the bass mix. So I hope that makes sense. Once you make those changes over here on the board, you're going to want to save that now. So those new output and source routing settings are saved in your setup. If you have any questions, let me know.